I never understood it when people would say, oh, you know, in your 20s, you just need to be alone. And I never quite got it because they would never explain to me that it's so important to define yourself on your own terms. If you think about it, when you're in love, that person's opinion affects your opinions. And everything you do goes through this filter of how would they feel about it. Because if you're a caring person and you're in love, then that's what you do. But there's something really wonderful about changing your life if you want to, cutting your hair short if you want to, moving to New York if you want to, changing directions of your entire creative outlook if you want to, and having it only be on your own terms.
I can pay my bills, I can pay my own damn bills. I'm independent for real, no Netflix and chill. I don't need no boo, so there's no me and you.
Only logical explanation at this point is that I've probably already met the love of my life and told him to f off. Okay?
I always love seeing these rants from 20-year-olds, right? Women who are at the peak of their physical attractiveness, who are in their prime, just arrogantly talk about how you should be alone in your 20s. It's so great. You don't need a man. Don't need a relationship. Don't be a pick-me girl. Oh, you got to do your own thing, woman. Don't let a man define you. And they speak with such bravado, such conceit, right? Until they hit their 30s, right? Until they hit their 30s. And suddenly, once the wall comes, as the wall comes for them all, as I always say, the wall humbles them all. Once the wall comes for them, and they're not getting the attention they used to from Chad, they suddenly change their tune, don't they? But before I say anything else, let me go ahead and pick apart some of these TikTok rants that I have just shared with you tonight. I will start with the first girl, I should say. It's not a woman yet. Where she is basically just flaunting the fact that she's traveling all over the world. She's got a goat eating her hair. She's like smiling, laughing. She's, eating like a bowl of celery on a tree. Look how great this is, ladies. Oh, I'm having the time of my life. Yeah. Right. And she's just creating this almost like an infomercial for being single. That's what it reminded me of. It looked like it was like a Tony Robbins infomercial, right? So she is sitting here basically as a person who is in their early 20s, fresh out of high school, trying to give life advice to other women and encourage other women to stay single throughout your 20s so you can define yourself, so you can really get to know who you are, so you can really establish those boundaries. So by the time you're in your 30s and you're ready to meet that high-value, successful man making 7 figures that can easily get the guest models, he's going to choose you, you washed-up 35-year-old that's ridden the carousel for the last 15 years. He's going to choose you. Why? I don't know. He's just going to choose you, right? She's trying to sell you on this dream that does not mirror what actually happens IRL, in real life, just to use that acronym. Right? And it's always hilarious to me because I've been around a long time, right? I'm closing in on 50. I've been out there for a long time, man, doing game, doing pickup, socializing, being in bars, clubs. And I've seen these girls back in their 20s with the same amount of just confidence about the fact that they don't need you. They don't need a guy. I don't need to be like my friends, have a family, and settle down and have kids. That's boring. I could just go out there and travel. I could have goats eat my hair. I could be eating celery on a tree while filming my TikTok so I could convince other girls to do the same, to live out the same miserable life I'm living. So is she trying to say that she's not lonely out there? Yeah, right. In any case, it's always hilarious because I remember those same girls back in the day. So confident, so full of themselves. And now fast forward 30 years later as we close in our 50s, those chicks are still single. And now that some are on my Facebook, right, my private Facebook, I can see them posting. They're posting like anti-Trump stuff, big government stuff. We need more welfare. I need more cat food. Oh, we should be wearing our masks no matter what. I mean, they've just totally bought into the narrative, right? I mean, these chicks are just forever single. Can't find a man. Always like woman splaining on their Facebooks, like shaming guys and shaming, like masculating. It's like, of course you took that path, because now you're angry, you're bitter, you're lonely, and you know you're doomed to live out that existence, right? You're doomed to live that out. You're fulfilling your destiny, right? So she's doomed to live that out, and it just never gets old. Like seeing these young 20-somethings talk about how great it is to be single. Oh, all my friends, those stupid girls, they're trying to get married. They're trying to have a family. They're trying to fulfill themselves through a man. Watch this. I'm going to do everything by myself. Watch this. Oh, I'm so strong and empowered. You know, yeah. Let's see how that works out for you in about 10 years. We'll see you in the next decade, honey. And we'll see how that works out when Chads are flaking on you, Pookie and Ray Ray are ghosting you. Yeah, I mean, you can't even get a date with a beta at that point, because by then we'll have woken up most of the betas in this world with this red pill content. And as I always tell these girls, the longer you stay single, the worse it gets. Okay? The worse it gets, man. Now, let me jump into the second girl's rant. I'm going to call her a girl. She's not a woman. I'm going to call her a girl. The Asian female with the pink top. She's like, she was singing like, I don't need no man. I can't pay my own bills. Well, get used to that, because you're going to have to pay your own bills, because it's just going to be you, and you from this point on, because you cannot change people like this, guys. Even if the fact that she's young, she's too far gone. I mean, because I've met girls who are kind of like these half vampire, quasi feminists, like coffee shop feminists. I've dated them, and I've been able to spin them back around, right? I've been able to spin them back around and make them normal again and turn them away from the dark side so they don't become full vampires, as long as she hasn't made her first kill, right? As they said in the Lost Boys. But this chick, I will tell you from experience, she's far gone. Way too much work. She's been brainwashed way too heavily, and this is now has seeped into her veins, where she really believes this malarkey. I don't need no boo, no Netflix and chill. It's like, don't worry, man, don't worry. You're not gonna get, I mean, obviously a chick like this, she's still going to want men in her life, right? But she's not gonna get those high value guys who want a good girl, who want a feminine girl, who want a girl who is going to be cool and pleasant to hang around. This chick ain't pleasant, right? And I've met other girls like her. And immediately, once I sense that, like, disdain for men, because she does, don't make no mistake, she has a hostility and a disdain towards men. That is when it's game over, right? I mean, no, right? And the only guys that are going to come around that chick are the guys that are wanting basically just use her for sex. So I'm telling you this as a professional pickup artist, as somebody who's been out there a long time. I've seen this play out over and over, and I'm telling you exactly. And she might not even want to believe this herself if she were to ever hear this, but she's doomed to ride the carousel with guys that just want to bang and clang and just use her because, you know, because she's an awful person. So she's going to attract those awful type of people into her life, not just guys who are going to use her, but she'll attract female friends like that too. Right? I mean, bragging about, I don't know why so many of these women brag about paying their own bills. That's what you're supposed to do. Why are you bragging about that? That's like guys like, oh, look at me, pay my own cell phone. Oh yeah, you know, I mean, you're supposed to do that as an adult. Why are you bragging about that? You know, I mean, do you brag about wiping your own ass? You know, I mean, that's not something you brag about. Okay, that's not something you brag about. Yes, that's cash. Got him right here. People are always like, who's snoring? It's my dog, man. He's getting hungry. But, I mean, those are not things that you brag about. That is just ridiculous. Okay, that is just silly. You look like an idiot when you do that. Like you're bragging about things that you're supposed to do. These are just things you're supposed to do. Don't brag about them, man. Oh yeah, I put gas in my car once it's empty. Woo! Oh, I charge my phone when I see the battery going out. I put in that charger and I charge it. Woo! Don't need a woman. See how silly that sounds, ladies? See how ridiculous that sounds? So, it's hilarious. And I love her little backflipped, like flipping her hair just to let you know she's not putting up with you as she turns around and walks away from the camera. It's like, what is that? Why are you so angry? That's what would be my question here. What are you so angry about? Right? Why are you so angry? Especially being that young. You're already this angry. Visit this chick 10 years from now. Imagine how even more, like more pissed off she'll be. More resentful, more bitter towards men. It's just going to get worse and worse. So I tell you guys, stay away from chicks like that. And they're just going to get used by Pookie and Ray Ray. And she's going to ride the carousel. And no high value man is ever going to be dumb enough to put a ring on that finger. Because who wants a loudmouth, right? Who wants a woman who's going to sit there again and just talk about herself endlessly? And finally, let me just crack into the third TikTok video before we wrap up here. She is also a young, probably like 22-year-old woman, talking about how she has probably already met the love of her life and she's told him to F off. I don't doubt that. I believe her, because a lot of these chicks who end up becoming the DG, that is exactly what they do, right? Because this chick, she's not bad looking at all, right? She's no dime piece, let's not make no mistake, but she is good looking enough to get some pretty good guys like coming along, like at least a string of guys coming along and willing to offer her the princess fantasy. Does she want that? No, she wants to ride the carousel, as many of these women do. They want to ride the carousel, and so any nice guys that come along and are like, hey, you know, how about I put a ring on that finger and I make an honest woman of you? They're like, no, I'll ride this carousel. I want to be independent. I want to do my own thing. I want to be able to cut my hair short if I want. I want to be able to eat celery on a tree in a bowl by myself. So there's really no surprise to this as how these chicks end up riding the CC and never land that forever man that they all want, right? Because at the core of them, they have psychological problems. I've told you guys that these women have some deep-rooted psychological problems, and some of these women sadly are already seeing the therapist, right? Already seeing the therapist. And what have I told you guys about therapists? It's just, they're just gonna make them into even more terrible people, right? Even more just self-loathing type of people that nobody is gonna want to be around. Right? It's very hard for these chicks to even keep friendships. A lot, even their own peers don't want to hang out with them. They're like, chick's toxic. She's always negative. She's always like saying, you know, she's always acting bitter and angry. So there's a reason why these chicks end up flying solo, right? They end up flying solo all the way up until they're 6 feet under. As always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything I might have missed that you would like to add below, drop them in the comments below. Any similar experiences you've had that you would like to share with the tribe, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I always love to see you guys in my comments. I always love to read them, so please drop those comments below. And as I said earlier, this is going to be one of the last coaching videos we do here in the Range Rover, so it's a bit sad. I've had this car for a while, and we'll be moving on to the next car. But it's been a great car, regardless of what anybody has had to say about it. This has actually been one of the most reliable cars that I have ever owned. Funny enough, because people are always like, oh, the Range Rover, oh, the DeLorean, oh my gosh, those are horrendous when it comes to maintenance. No, these two cars have been literally the most maintenance-free cars I've ever owned. So it's been a pleasure to own this Range Rover, and probably going to be moving on to another one, if not a similar class SUV, but going to be keeping the DeLorean, obviously, never going to sell that car, but I think it's time to move on from the Range Rover. So I have a lot of memories in this car, man. A lot of dates, a lot of just good times. Yeah, so it's going to be sad. But as always, make sure you smash that like button below. Just do it now. Do it for the Range Rover. Smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel because it tells the YouTube algorithm that you like what I'm doing here and you want me to produce more content for you. Okay? So please make sure you're subscribed as well. Too many of you guys are watching my vids and you're not subscribed. Man, help me out. Help a brother out and subscribe to the 33 Secrets. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 months to mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you, yes, you, how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, stunners, the absolute best looking women on the planet. I teach you how to go out there and do that. And right now, I have a number of coaching students all around the world out there making things happen, rain or shine, every single day, no matter what's going on with the economy, who's in the White House, right? Doesn't matter. We're continuing to live our lives at the highest level. And I want you to join us. I want you to become one of us. And this is the absolute best way to support my work. So if you want to jump into 7 months mastery, please do so. Okay, right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me, so take advantage of it. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. We're out. Me and the Rover for one of the last times. Till next time.